Good evening. This is Millie Moresa. I'll take you through today's subject. Today we are looking at supply chain management information systems. We had already done introduction to supply chain management previously last week. So today we shall just pick up from wherever we left so that we can continue and see what are these information systems. So supply chain management in itself is management of suppliers and customers in a supply chain. A supply chain is a link of suppliers and customers who come together to be able to supply or deliver a product to the final customer. So it means a supply chain products are delivered. A supply chain has a supplier, a manufacturer, a distributor, a retailer, and the final customer. So it means items move from the supplier to the manufacturer to the retailer and then to the final customer. So when these items are moving, items cannot, of course, move on their own. Information is needed. Information is needed to be able to move a product. Without information, nothing can happen in a supply chain. Because products cannot move on their own. Suppliers cannot start moving products without without being told where the products are heading to, what type of products, the quality, the quantity. So suppliers will sit and wait for the information before they can be able to move the products. That brings us to the concept of information system, because whatever makes a supply chain to work is not only goods, it is goods plus information. So information will be moving. A customer places an order, that is information moving. A retailer receives the order and answers the customer back, schedules the order in their timetable, and comes up with a plan on how they will supply to the final customer. So a supply chain can never work without information. And information is just a segment of information system, because there is that part of system. There is the part of information and there is the part of the system. So the system is either manual or automated. Now that we know what information can be. Information is as simple as placing an order. And placing an order is as simple as taking a phone, calling the retailer and telling them, I want this amount of item X. It can be done using a telephone. It can be done using an order form where you fill an order, send to the supplier. So it means that once you have the information, now whatever comes in next is the system. How will I be able to send the information to this customer or to this supplier? The system, we can divide them generally into two, the manual system and the automated system. Manual is also a system. So the manual system is the one we have been using in previous years. The placing of an order manually, we write in manual orders, we send manually, sometimes we even use the post office or take the order direct to the company and be able to deliver it. So that system had so many issues in terms of it was costly, it took a lot of time, it made there to be so much redundancy. Items were not moving very fast because of redundancy in information. You send information, by the time it gets there, it's already distorted. By the time it gets there, sometimes it even gets lost on the way. But at the end of the day, it worked in those times. But from around 1980s coming where we are now, companies started realizing that we can come up with better systems that can be able to link organizations and make transactions to take place in a fast, efficient manner. And that's the first time information systems like electronic data interchange were introduced. So these were systems that were used to facilitate, to make sure that items, information can be able to move from one organization to another without any backlogs, without any delays. So such types of information were just the normal information which were sent manually. They are just transferred to the automatic system. So this system started in 1980s with the electronic data interchange, where organizations will come up with their own systems, but standard system. So that if I use my system as company A and you use your system as company B, we can be able to communicate. Because if we come up with two different systems, what will happen is I shall be sending you something and you're not even able to open it or access it because your system is different from mine. So EDI encouraged the use of the same or standard system, which could be accessed by both customer and supplier so that they can be able to send information and communicate. That system is widely used or has been widely used in so many companies up to now. A good example of EDI is the electronic point of sale system used in supermarkets. All of us have been to supermarkets and you normally see what happens. For items to be identified in a supermarket, they need a barcode scanner. So those items have code numbers, every item with a code number, so that code number is passed through the scanner and the information relating to that item comes up. If you want to know the type of information, look at your receipt. It will show you the item, the quantity, the manufacturer. So the basic information regarding that item will pop up. So a company can be able to know exactly how many items they have at a particular period of time in an organization. So let's say customers have picked items from the shelves. What will happen? They will go to the till. The items will be entered into a system as it goes out. So as a person in the store, I can be able to easily know these are the items which have left the supermarket. Without me having to go to the shelves and start counting, I'll be able to know exactly. If I am to order for more items according to how much has remained, then I'll just look at the system and know this item has reached the reorder level and I need to place an order. So that system works just like that. Communication between the supermarket shelves and the store in the supermarket and the suppliers outside there, they can use one system. In fact, some supermarkets have given the same system to suppliers. They don't even call suppliers and tell them to replenish. Suppliers can be able to look at the system and be able to find out that this item has gone out of stock, so we need to send. So without placing orders and going through all those procedures for all those items, suppliers will just bring materials when they reach the reorder level. So from there, systems have been evolving. Nowadays, we have very specialized system. Any company can come up with their own system. Look at our example. We have the KEEPS system in which all of us are in it. You can be able to just see how it works. It links lecturers, it links students, it links management. Anyone can be able to access that system as long as they have been given the permission to. So as a student, you can be able to go there, look for information that you want. Maybe you want the timetable, you want notes, everything can be placed in a system. You can see the centralization of a system. You don't have to now start calling teacher this so and so and teacher so and so, give me notes. You can be able to find all those notes, all those course outlines in one central point. And that gives us a very important advantage of a system. It centralizes all the information so that information can be found in one place and there's no distortion of information. If there is a problem with the information, you'll still see the problem in the system. But if a system is fed with accurate information, it will provide accurate information. So a system, if you want to understand systems, understand the system in KIPS, the one which we are using, the online system. It works like that in most organizations. The difference could be KIPS is a college, another organization is a manufacturing firm, but the aim or the intention is the same, to be able to communicate and centralize all the information at one central point. So that makes a system. A system is very accurate in terms of information sharing. We can be able to get information from a central point. It is very fast. As long as you just open, you can be able to get various information at once. So systems work like that. And that's why you'll find procurement nowadays is not done just manually. Even the government, which normally does things very slowly, has already gone electronic. Government nowadays uses electronic procurement. From the time a need is identified up to the time items are received into the organization, all those processes can be automated. They can be electronic. I place an order, I identify an item electronically. I go ahead and send it to the concerned department, mostly procurement. Procurement will go out there, do sourcing, electronic sourcing. They can do electronic sourcing electronically without having to go out there. Then after that, they send they get a supplier, they enter into a contract with them, e-contracting, electronic contracting. After contracting with them, then the suppliers will agree to the contract, they supply items, and then we pay them as the customers. And nowadays, payment doesn't have to be physical cash. We do electronic payment. So every activity in a supply chain can be automated. And those are the systems we are talking about. A system that will make sure things are done without having to use paperwork, without having to sign things on paper. Then it makes it easier for an organization to run. So just put in mind, if a supply chain, the entire supply chain has a system, how accurate will it be? How quick will the supply chain be? How quick will items move from the customer to the final, from the supplier to the final customer? Very quick. And that's why systems are so important, and we need to learn about them, because at the ages or the years that are coming, you'll find there's no organization which is manual. All of them will have gone automatic. So you knowing or understanding systems will be part of an important role that you will play in any organization. And we do not understand systems so that we can go and make systems. Systems are produced by IT specialists, but we need to know how to use them. We may not come up with a system because maybe that's not our area, but we may have to know how to use one and be able to know whenever we are using this is what is required of us. So we can never underestimate the use of systems in an organization. They are very important. So that's okay. I would like to leave you with some things to think about. Look at the system in KIPS and try to look at it, analyze it. Look at it in terms of how effective it is, what challenges you have in using it, what advantages does it give to you as a student, and what disadvantages has it shown you up to now. If you're able to identify that, then that system is the same system you'll find all over. The only difference is that one is tailor-made for KIPS, and the other ones are maybe for different organizations. So look at that system, analyze it, and then when we meet next, we can be able now to understand what challenges, how do we come up with a system, what is the importance, what do we do to be able to maintain a system. We shall be able now to expand from there, now that you know whatever a system is. So thank you for joining us today. In case you have questions, in case you have issues, you can always contact me. You come and ask, and I'll be available to answer them. Thank you for today. Until we meet next time. Goodbye.